What's up, Digital Business Evolution? Welcome back to the show. Today, I'm giving you a real quick tip. It's a hot take. Take it in, write it down, refer back to it. I promise you, this tip is going to save you time. It's going to keep you organized, and it is going to make your content as a whole just feel a whole lot easier. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I recently made a post about something I was doing in my business that I was doing in January and February and March that I'm going to teach you today that was going to save me time in December. And then just last week, I was on a coaching call and I brought up to my clients this idea around photo albums that I'm going to be talking to you about today. And I was inundated with messages after the call. Oh my gosh, never thought of this before. This is brilliant, mind blown. And so I thought, why would I hold this back and not share it with our DBE fam? So here it is. It's a really simple concept. I use an iPhone, so I'm an Apple iPhone gal. I'm sure you can do this on other types of phones as well. But inside of Apple iPhone, you have the ability to create different photo albums. And so I am a picture person. I'm a video person. I always have been. Back in the day in college, I was the girl with the Canon camera hanging around my wrist all day. And then the next day, people would beg me not to put pictures up on Facebook, right? So I love pictures. I love videos, and I have a lot of them. In an effort to keep my pictures organized, it is not uncommon that we use photo albums inside of our phones. And so I've been doing this for years. You go on a vacation, you make a photo album. It's someone's birthday, you make a photo album, and it keeps your photos organized. So why aren't we doing this in business? A couple years ago, I started implementing this in my business, and I have a lot of different types of photo albums that I create and that I use all of the time. So I'm gonna start with the one that I got a lot of mind-blown emojis for. Inside of my photo album, what I have is, right now it's 2023, I have a 2023 highlights photo album. At the end of every month, I actually have in my calendar, the last Friday of every single month, I have a reminder that goes off. I spend about 30 minutes and I go through my pictures and my videos that happened throughout that month. So we just passed April. So the last Friday of April, I went in and I went and saw all of my different photos and pictures from April. I selected a handful. There's no special number. It's not 5 or 10 or 50. I just hand selected sort of a recap of all of the incredible memories and things that I did and things that I wanted to remember as part of my 2023 highlight at the end of the year. I moved those over into my 2023 highlights. And now when December comes, number one, I can just reflect back into this one album without having to look through so much of the other garbage that just gets piled up in our album. But number two, if I did want to go and create something like a carousel post, a blog, a reel, a YouTube, I have all of my highlights right there in one album, and it will save me so much time. I've been doing this for years. So go ahead and start implementing it if you want. I love creating that sort of reminder the last Friday of every month. I go in, I spend about a half hour, and I move over key things. And you can do this, you can make 2 albums. You can have like a personal highlights album and a business highlight album if you wanted to. But the key here is that I'm taking key moments or big moments throughout each month and I'm moving them over. All right. With that, I'm doing something else that's very similar as well, and I'm doing a bloopers album. So if you're anything like me, you are a content creator and you're making YouTubes and videos and you're doing Instagram stories and all sorts of things. There are so many times, specifically on camera, that I have bloopers. I mess up what I'm saying, I trip up over my words, the dog does something funny, my hair's out of place, and I generally never delete them because I think it's really funny. So I started creating an album of bloopers that I add to every time I have a blooper. And again, I do this for each year, so 2022, 2023, so on and so forth. That way I can make compilation videos of all of my bloopers. I can also use them. I have like quick access to them that I can pull if I wanted to put them into a video when I'm editing, sort of at the end of the video like they do in the movie theater, right? In the movies when the credits are rolling. So I have a whole album of bloopers, which I love. Now, really common albums that I know a lot of people use are things like client wins, screenshots, and then also testimonials. I have 3 separate albums for that. So I have all of our client wins that come through. I have screenshots when people will message me, or I'll take, like, because I'm a business coach, our clients will insert how much money they made, or they'll tell me about their revenue or their launches. So I'll screenshot those. Those are in an album. And then I also have an actual video testimonials album as well. So clients will send in video testimonials, sometimes prompted, sometimes not, and I'll save all of those in an album. So I've got lots of client results in lots of different albums. Another type of album that I have is I have a feel-good album because, again, if you're anything like me, human, There are days, believe it or not, that I don't feel great. There are moments that I'm just not jiving. Maybe I'm doubting myself, limiting beliefs, imposter, stuff like that's coming up. Or sometimes maybe the day doesn't go your way. Maybe you get a negative comment, there's a troll, there's a client complaint or something. So in an effort to remind myself of all of the incredible things that I am doing and what I am capable of and the lives that I've changed, when I do get messages from people and they say things like, "You've changed my life," I screenshot those and I put those over into my feel good photo album. So that might not be an album that I'm using what they're saying as testimonials. I'm not putting it on sales pages, but that's an album for me, right? And I get a lot of those and those messages and those emails, and they mean the world. And I do save them all in a feel good album. For me, when I'm taking a screenshot of a conversation or a testimonial, I also don't crop out the person's face or the person's name, because I always like to remember who it is. If I'm going to reuse it in the future and I'm going to pop it up on a sales page or something, then I have the ability, if I want to, I can sort of blur the person's name out or their picture, but I do keep the photo as a whole in my album. Other albums that I have one album for every single program or offering or product that we have in the company. So every time we have a new product or a program, I create a new album that has assets for just that program or product. Let me break it down for you. If we were doing a masterclass, I would have an album for that particular masterclass. And inside that album, I would have a logo with a transparent background, because we always make logos for our masterclasses. I would have a bunch of Instagram story slides, like just templated backgrounds, maybe with something on the bottom or the title or something like that up in the corner. And I'd have different variations and versions of those without writing on them. So it wouldn't necessarily be pre-written out with, what it is or who it's for. I would do blank ones. I would also do some that did have writing on them, but I like the blank ones because then I can just write while I'm sort of in the moment, while I'm on Instagram. If it was something where we were going to have a private Facebook group and we had like a Facebook cover photo, that would be in there. Any asset that I would need that is a graphic, I would put into that album. And then let's say I ran the masterclass and I wanted to keep screenshots of what people were saying about the masterclass, again, as sort of testimonials and social proof and wins that clients have had. Then I would create another photo album of that name of the masterclass and then client results. So I keep everything separated and organized by all of the different products and programs that we have. A perfect example is also our free resources. So we have lots of different free downloads and resources. And one of them is our email marketing training. So we have this incredible, totally free 10 video series training where I'm teaching you all about what is email marketing, the importance of it, the technology of it, the different platforms, and most importantly, the messaging of what it is that you're going to be putting out into the world. Now, with that free training, we have assets. And so that free training has its own photo album as well. In fact, if you're interested in that free training, shameless plug, go to the show notes and go ahead and snag that free training because it is so good. And then if you have a client result and you have a win from that training and you want to shoot me over a message and let me know how amazing it was and what you were able to create from that free training, well, then you better believe that's going to get put over into our photo album that I have. Some other photo albums that I have, I'm just looking at my computer because I don't want to miss any. I have, this is a great one. I have an album of what I call, quote unquote, my journey. So there are so many times that we want to sort of do a recap of where we've come from, or maybe we're meeting people for the first time, we're doing a presentation, maybe you're going to go into someone else's program or speak on stage and you want to put a slideshow together and you want to show evidence of your journey and sort of where you started and where you are today. I have a photo album where I have different key elements of my journey across the years so that I don't have to go fishing through my 50,000 photos on my phone. So I have a whole album of just the journey. And it's really, for me, like the most important. I think there's about 30 pictures in there. It's nothing crazy. Now, this is the one that people were losing their minds over. You might get upset with me here, but also this is a really great one. So listen up. Each day on Instagram in particular, I like to start my Instagram stories with the same type of content every single day. Now, some examples here would be back in the day, I used to do a handstand every single morning and I would talk to my camera as the camera was on the ground and I was handstanding over the camera. And it was my morning handstand chats. Then I went through a season of time where I was using incense every morning or a candle that I would light. And that was something that I would put up every morning. A lot of people will do their outfit of the day, their OOTD, and they'll take a selfie in the mirror or something like that, and that will start their day. Now, the psychology behind doing something like this consistently is that you want to create consistency, and you want to create a habit for your clients and for your audience. And when you're using Instagram stories like I do, what I look at Instagram stories as are little micro episodes of a reality TV show that I get to direct and produce and be the talent in, right? And so every single day is like a new episode of this reality TV show. So by putting something up every single day, it's sort of the marker or the flag or the notification for your audience members to know, hey, today's a new day. And so in the season that I'm in right now, because it's always changing, and I've been doing content for 11 years, and it's always changing. But right now I am putting up a picture or a boomerang or a short little video of my coffee. And so sometimes it's my coffee on my desk, and sometimes it's my coffee with Montana's face in it. He's my dog. Sometimes I'm inside, sometimes I'm outside. And there's all different variations, and the mugs are different, and the vibe is different. Now, truth be told, I absolutely drink coffee every single day. I am a 1 cup of coffee girl every single day. I love my coffee, the smell of it, the habit of it. I love my coffee, okay? But what is also true is that I have a photo album called AM Coffee. It's literally called AM Coffee. And in that photo album, I have about 25, maybe 30 different pictures and boomerangs of coffee, all mine, all real, all moments in my life, in my actual house, with my actual mug, with my actual dog. But what I've done is I've created an album. And the reason why I did this is because sometimes the morning is crazy, and sometimes I'm rushing, and sometimes my coffee is actually like quickly on the go on a call, or it's in a mug and I'm walking somewhere else, or Mike and I are driving, especially during RV life, and it's in a Yeti in the cup holder. And so the vibe might not feel as crisp or clean, or I might not have access to take that picture right then and there. Perfect example too is sometimes we're on vacation and you go to a coffee shop and you're hoping for like this really cute little like latte art at the top, and instead they give you this crummy white papery cup, and there's people all around you, and there's nowhere good to take a picture. So in my AM photo album that I have for AM Coffee, I have about 25 or 30 different moments of coffee that I had. Now, I don't use them every single day. I do actually give you the real of my coffee that I'm drinking that day. However, on a day that I don't have the ability to take a picture or a boomerang of my coffee, or maybe I just don't feel like it, then I can go into my album and I can pull one of my past coffee things. Now, it's important for me, at least, I save those boomerangs and those pictures and those images without any text on them. So there's no writing on them, there's nothing. They're just clean pictures of my coffee or my boomerangs of my coffee. And they're saved in an album, and it's sort of like backup. So if I don't have the ability right then and there, I can go into the album. Now, imagine what you could do if you sort of stockpiled different images that you're using all of the time. So another example here is I do a lot of photo shoots of myself, and we use them a lot for branding, for marketing, for assets, and for sales pages, landing pages and stuff. And there are a lot of times that I like using them on my Instagram stories as well. Now, I love to put a picture up of myself, and then I put an overlay, a transparent overlay of another color on top of that. I could teach you how to do that in a different episode. If you're interested in that, DM me, let me know, and I'll teach you in a different episode. And then I write on it. Okay. And so what I've done is I've created another photo album of sort of, call them headshots for lack of a better term, but they're like full body headshot photos, or, portrait mode photos of me that I feel are very high quality. Maybe they're professional, maybe they were taken on my iPhone, but they're very high quality. Usually there's like maybe standing in front of a blank wall. There's plenty of room in the background for me to write on it where it's not too busy. So what I'm saying is I'm saving pictures inside of an album that are not me with like 50 people standing behind me, right? It's not like a crowded space. It's a single shot of me. I like them personally if I'm a little bit off center, kind of like I am right now on your YouTube video. That is the rule of thirds, by the way. That is a very intentional thing that we do in photography and video. So I like them a little bit off center, so on and so forth. That way it gives me the space on the side that I can like write a caption or write things like that. But again, I don't want to have to always be fishing through, so I have them all in an album. Additionally, every single time I do a photo shoot, I create another album, a single album for every single photo shoot. So here's my Sedona photo shoot with Ashley. Here's my Scottsdale photo shoot with Jerry. Here's my, my New York photo shoot with Diana. And so I have all of those in different albums as well. I'm trying to think if there are any other really great albums off the top of my head that I love. I think these are probably the ones that I go to the most. If I had to guess, because I didn't look, I probably have about 50 different photo albums in my phone right now. And that does not include my shared photo albums. So I also have iterations of some of these that are shared photo albums with different members of my team. That way they can actually add to the photo album as well. So when it comes to client results, screenshots, and client testimonials, those are all shared photo albums that we have where we can all insert different things. We can all add to them at different times and we all have access to them. So no one on the team is having to ask me like, hey, can I have this information? Or hey, can you give me that screenshot that you took? They have access and they can use it. So I hope this was helpful. I'd love to know from you if you do something like this. If you do something like this and you've actually expanded beyond what I've given you, what are some of the photo albums that you're using in your business or in your life? And I would love to know. So tell me. And if this was helpful, then I would absolutely love if you could take a screenshot of this, share it out on your social media. Of course, tag me at I am Jessica DeRose. But the more people we can get this in front of, the more people it will help. This is not rocket science, but I promise you, this is a game changer in your business. I don't really do this for my personal life. I do this for the business. And I also have heard, maybe one day I will, I have heard of content creators who have a second phone where the only thing they use that second phone for is assets and screenshots and photos and videos. So they keep all of their personal and their business stuff completely separate. So their phone is their dog and their kids, and then their second phone is their content for Reels and TikToks and stuff like that. So that's something cool to think about too. I'm not there yet. I don't mind everything being together, but I do break everything apart in photo albums on my iPhone, as well as, of course, you can do folders on your computer. We use G Suite or Google Workspace, whatever it's called now. But this, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It saves so much time when you're looking for that specific memory, you're looking for that specific photo shoot. You want to get quick access to the assets that you need. And for the record, sometimes when we have like a program like Empower or a masterclass, I might only have 5 or 9 photos in that album. Like the assets that I have, it might only be a few assets, but it's really important that they're all right there. Okay, take a screenshot, share it out, tag me at I am Jessica DeRose. Let me know which one was your biggest aha moment, your biggest brain breaker. Definitely for my clients the other day, the one that they couldn't believe was the AM photo album stuff, the AM coffee. They were just like, oh my God, I never thought to do something like that. So if you're in network marketing and you're helping sell shakes or something, you could do the same thing with your shakes. You could do the same thing with your essential oils. If you're a pet groomer or trainer, you could do the same thing with different things that you're doing, clipping nails and cutting hair and all of that. So you can take this and run with it. I hope it was helpful. I'll see you next time. And as always, cheers to your evolution. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful. Until next time, cheers to your evolution.